Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear brothers and sisters, and welcome back to the Inspired Muslim, a space where we discover the hidden treasures of Islam and learn how they can transform not only our faith, but also our daily lives. Now let's start with something very relatable. Picture this. You wake up early, sometimes struggling but still pushing yourself out of bed for Fajr. You make your wudu. You stand before Allah in salah. Your room is quiet, and there's a unique calm in the air. You finish your prayer, make your dua, and then you feel it. That heavy pull of sleep. Your bed is calling you back, and many of us, without thinking twice, slip right back under the blanket, telling ourselves, just for 10 minutes. But those 10 minutes can easily become 1 hour or even more. Here's the thing, brothers and sisters. Have you ever noticed how different your day feels depending on what you do after Fajr? On the days you go back to sleep, you might wake up groggy, dragging your feet, feeling like half your day is already gone. But on the days you resist that urge, when you stay awake, maybe recite Quran, maybe plan your day, maybe just sit with a cup of tea and reflect. You feel lighter, more energized, and somehow your whole day flows better. This isn't just a coincidence. There's a hidden secret behind those early hours that most people don't realize. A secret so powerful that our beloved Prophet Muhammad, may Allah's peace and blessings be upon him, specifically prayed for barakah in that time. A secret that modern science is only just beginning to uncover when it comes to health, productivity, and mental clarity. And a secret that could be the difference between a day that feels wasted and a day that feels blessed. In this video, we're going to uncover exactly why sleeping after Fajr might be holding you back, and why embracing the morning hours could be one of the most life-changing habits you'll ever develop. We'll talk about what the Quran and Sunnah say, the spiritual blessings that come with staying awake, the surprising health effects of early mornings, and practical tips to make it easier for you, even if you've struggled in the past. So stay with me until the end, because what I'm about to share could completely shift the way you look at your mornings forever. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the Inspired Muslim so we can continue to walk this journey of faith, knowledge, and inspiration together. The spiritual barakah of the morning in Islam. Brothers and sisters, Islam teaches us that not all times of the day are equal. Some moments carry more weight, more reward, and more blessings than others. And one of the most special times is the early morning right after Fajr. The Prophet Muhammad, may Allah's peace and blessings be upon him, made a powerful dua, O Allah, bless my ummah in their mornings. Subhanallah. Just think about that. He could have asked Allah to bless us at any time of the day, but he specifically chose the morning hours. That alone should make us pause and reflect. The scholars explain that this blessing, this barakah, is not just spiritual, but practical. When you begin your day right after Fajr, Allah places benefit in your time, your energy, your wealth, and even in the tasks you take on. Work you do in the morning often feels lighter, smoother, and more fruitful than the same work done later in the day. That's not just your imagination, that's barakah in action. But here's where many of us miss out. By going back to sleep right after Fajr, we are literally closing the door on that blessing. It's like Allah is sending down a shower of barakah, but instead of standing under it, we're pulling the covers over our head and missing it. Think about it. How often do we complain about not having enough time, not being productive, or struggling with risk? What if one of the keys is right here, hidden in the time we spend sleeping after Fajr, instead of embracing the early morning light? This is why many righteous people throughout history treated the hours after Fajr as sacred. They would read Quran, make dhikr, start their work, or simply sit and reflect. They understood that this time wasn't ordinary. It was a gift from Allah that could set the tone for the entire day. So if you've ever felt like your day slips away from you, or like you're stuck in a cycle of laziness and missed opportunities, maybe it's because you've been overlooking the barakah that Allah placed in your mornings. 2. The Prophet, may Allah's peace and blessings be upon him, and the Sahaba in the morning. Brothers and sisters, one of the most beautiful ways to understand the importance of mornings is to look at how the Prophet, may Allah's peace and blessings be upon him, himself lived. The Prophet wasn't just teaching with words, he was teaching with his daily habits. After Fajr, the Prophet, may Allah's peace and blessings be upon him, would remain seated in his place of prayer, remembering Allah, reciting Quran, and engaging in dhikr until sunrise. Imagine this scene. The masjid is quiet. The sky slowly turns from dark to light. The believers sit in remembrance. And Rasulullah, may Allah's peace and blessings be upon him, is at the heart of it, leading by example. This was his practice, and the companions followed. In fact, there's a narration where the Prophet, may Allah's peace and blessings be upon him, said that whoever prays Fajr in congregation, then sits remembering Allah until the sun rises and prays 2 rak'ahs, they will have the reward of Hajj and Umrah, complete. Subhanallah. Can you see how much emphasis Islam places on the post-Fajr hours? And it wasn't just about worship. The Prophet, may Allah's peace and blessings be upon him, encouraged productivity in this time. Some of the companions, like Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu anh, would say, the early risers are those who gain success, while the late sleepers lose out. They believed the morning was the engine that powered their day. Historically, Muslims used these early hours for trade, farming, learning, and writing. You'll find stories of scholars like Imam al-Shafi'i and Imam al-Bukhari who would begin their studies right after Fajr. They knew the mind is sharpest, the heart is softest, and the blessings are flowing in the morning. Contrast that with today. Many of us spend the early morning scrolling through our phones, or worse, sleeping away this golden window. And then we wonder why our days feel heavy, unproductive, or spiritually empty. The Prophet, may Allah's peace and blessings be upon him, and his Sahaba showed us that the morning is not just the start of the day, it's the foundation of the day. If you build it strong, the rest of your hours fall into place. If you waste it, the rest of the day can crumble before it even begins. So when you think about sleeping after Fajr, remember this. Every moment you choose to stay awake is a chance to live like the Prophet, may Allah's peace and blessings be upon him, and his companions, to carry their legacy of barakah, productivity, and closeness to Allah. 3. The missed blessings of sleeping after Fajr. Brothers and sisters, let's be real for a moment. Sleeping after Fajr might feel comforting in the moment. That blanket is warm, your body is heavy, and your eyes just want to close. But what seems like a small nap can actually rob you of something far greater. The blessings Allah placed in your morning. Remember the prophets, may Allah's peace and blessings be upon him. Dua. O Allah, bless my nation in their mornings. If the morning is blessed, then by sleeping through it, we're essentially skipping over the very time Allah designed to give us productivity, ease, and risk. It's like turning away from a gift. What are some of the things we miss? Lost risk, provision. Many scholars mention that risk, our sustenance, is distributed in the early morning. By choosing sleep, we may be closing doors to opportunities, work, and even unexpected blessings that could have come our way. Lost productivity. Have you noticed how sleeping after Fajr often makes you groggy? Instead of waking up fresh, you feel heavy, tired, and less motivated. Your brain loses that sharpness it had right after Salah. What could have been your most productive hours become wasted in sluggishness. Lost spiritual rewards, sitting in dhikr until sunrise, reciting Quran, or even just reflecting. These acts carry immense rewards. But when you go back to sleep, you miss the chance to stack up those blessings. Imagine the difference between someone who greets the sunrise with remembrance and someone who wakes up at 9 or 10 a.m. after oversleeping. Their hearts, their energy, and their day are completely different. Lost control of the day. Here's the subtle part. When you give in to sleep after Fajr, you start your day with a habit of giving in to comfort, and often that sets the tone for the rest of the day. A cycle of procrastination, laziness, and missed opportunities. Brothers and sisters, Shaitan loves when we waste this time, because he knows the morning is when we're closest to Allah, when our minds are fresh, and when our rizq is written. If he can distract us with sleep, he's already won half the battle. So yes, sleeping after Fajr might feel sweet in the moment, but in reality, it's stealing from you, stealing your blessings, your rizq, your productivity, and your spiritual rewards. And once you see it this way, that nap doesn't feel so harmless anymore. 4. The health science behind early mornings. Brothers and sisters, one of the most beautiful things about Islam is how often the Sunnah aligns perfectly with what modern science discovers centuries later. The case of sleeping after Fajr is no exception. Let's look at it from a health perspective. Our bodies are designed with an internal clock called the circadian rhythm. This rhythm follows the cycle of day and night, light and darkness. And guess what? The peak times for alertness, focus, and productivity naturally begin in the morning, shortly after sunrise. When you go back to bed after Fajr, you're actually confusing your body clock. Instead of entering a full deep sleep cycle, your body slips into what's called fragmented sleep. Short, incomplete sleep stages that leave you groggy, tired, and sometimes even with headaches. That's why you often feel worse after going back to bed, not better. On the other hand, when you stay awake after Fajr, you're working with your natural rhythm, not against it. Exposure to natural sunlight in the morning helps regulate hormones like cortisol, which gives you energy, and melatonin, which controls sleep. This balance boosts your alertness in the day and actually helps you sleep better at night. But that's not all. Studies show that people who wake up early and stay consistent with it have better mental health and lower rates of depression and anxiety, perform better in work and studies because their brains are sharper in the morning, experience better metabolism and digestion since the body's systems are most active during the day. And, this one's big, they often live more structured, disciplined lives, which directly ties back to Islamic teachings about balance and order. Think about it. Allah designed us to rise with the light and rest with the night. The Prophet, may Allah's peace and blessings be upon him, even disliked staying up late without a valid reason. So when we flip this natural rhythm by sleeping after Fajr, scrolling late into the night, and waking up late in the morning, we're actually going against both our fitrah and the sunnah. So not only do we lose spiritual barakah when we sleep after Fajr, we also miss out on one of the most natural, health-boosting habits Allah built into our bodies. 5. The mental productivity benefits of staying awake. After Fajr, brothers and sisters, let's be honest. How often do we tell ourselves, I don't have enough time in the day? We rush through tasks, struggle with deadlines, and constantly feel behind. But what if the answer to more time has been right in front of us all along, in the hours after Fajr? When you stay awake after Fajr, you're not just following the sunnah, you're also giving yourself a huge mental advantage. Science shows that the human brain is at its sharpest in the early morning. Your mind is fresh, uncluttered, and more capable of deep focus. That's why so many successful people, from scholars of the past to modern leaders today, begin their work at dawn. Here's what happens when you embrace the post-Fajr hours. Sharper focus. Tasks that normally feel heavy become lighter. Reading, studying, or even planning your day becomes easier because your brain is operating at peak clarity. Boosted creativity. Early mornings activate the part of your brain linked to imagination and problem solving. That's why so many writers, artists, and innovators use mornings for their creative work. Stronger discipline. Waking up early and resisting the pull of sleep builds willpower. You're literally training your nafs to put purpose over comfort. And that discipline spills over into other parts of your life. More time. By staying awake after Fajr, you've already added 2, 3, even 4 productive hours to your day. Imagine how much Quran you could memorize, how many projects you could complete, or how much peace you could bring into your life with that extra time. But it's not just about getting things done. Staying awake after Fajr also shapes your mindset. Instead of starting your day in a rush, you start calm, intentional, and ahead of the world. By the time others are just waking up, you've already prayed, remembered Allah, maybe learned something new, and set the tone for your day. And here's the hidden gem. Starting your day with purpose builds momentum. Psychologists call this the first win effect. When your first action of the day is meaningful, prayer, Quran, reflection, or work, it sets off a chain reaction of positive habits that carry you through the rest of the day. So in reality, those hours after Fajr are like a golden key. Use them and you unlock clarity, creativity, discipline, and peace. Sleep through them and you hand that key away. 6. Practical alternatives to sleeping after Fajr, brothers and sisters. I know what you might be thinking. It sounds amazing to stay awake after Fajr, but honestly, I just get too sleepy. What do I do instead? Don't worry. Islam is a religion of balance, not hardship. The goal isn't to force yourself into something impossible, but to slowly build habits that keep you awake and make the most of this blessed time. Here are some simple, practical alternatives to crawling back under the blanket. Sit in dhikr or Quran. Recitation after Fajr. Instead of lying down, sit and engage in remembrance of Allah. Read a few pages of Quran. Repeat morning adhkar, or simply sit quietly in reflection. Even 15-20 minutes of this can refresh your heart and keep you awake. Take a short walk outside. Step outside for a breath of fresh morning air. The sunlight tells your body it's time to be alert, and walking helps fight off drowsiness. Plus, it's a sunnah to start the day active and connected with nature. Plan or journal. Your day, grab a notebook and write down your goals, to-do list, or reflections. The clarity of morning makes it easier to think, and journaling helps organize your thoughts for the day ahead. Light exercise or stretching. A few minutes of stretching, yoga, or light exercise can work wonders. It wakes up your muscles, boosts your energy, and sets the tone for an active day. Start your work or studies early. If you're a student, use this golden time to revise or memorize Quran. If you work, start on a small task. Even one productive hour in the morning can free up half your day later. Nap at the sunnah time, kailula. Here's the important part. Islam does allow for rest, but at the right time. Instead of sleeping after Fajr, try a short nap around midday, before or after dhuhr. This was the sunnah of the Prophet, may Allah's peace and blessings be upon him, and is actually healthier for your body rhythm. The key is not to overload yourself with huge tasks after Fajr. Start small. Choose one habit, maybe reading Quran, maybe going for a walk, maybe journaling. Over time, your body and mind will adapt, and you'll actually start to look forward to these peaceful hours. Remember, the goal isn't to stay awake for the sake of it. It's to use the morning in a way that brings you closer to Allah, gives you energy, and fills your day with barakah. 7. The hidden spiritual dimension. Now, this is something really deep that a lot of people miss. Sleeping after Fajr isn't just about physical rest, it also has a spiritual angle. The early morning hours carry barakah, blessings, that Allah has placed in them. That's why the Prophet, may Allah's peace and blessings be upon him, made dua for his ummah to be blessed in their mornings. So when someone immediately goes back to sleep, they might unintentionally miss out on this divine blessing. Imagine it like this. Allah has already opened a treasure chest of opportunities for you right after Fajr, whether it's in work, knowledge, business, or even your daily sustenance. But instead of collecting those gems, you close the lid and walk away by going back to bed. Spiritually, you could be blocking doors of rizq, guidance, or even peace of heart that Allah had lined up for you that morning. So, my dear brothers and sisters, the secret is that staying awake after Fajr isn't just about productivity in the dunya. It's also about aligning yourself with divine blessings in the akhirah. And before I move to the next point, don't forget, if you're enjoying this deep dive into the hidden secrets behind our everyday actions, make sure to subscribe to The Inspired Muslim. That way, you won't miss more powerful reminders like this one. 8. Impact on mood and mental clarity. One of the hidden secrets behind sleeping after Fajr is how it can mess with your mental clarity and emotional balance throughout the day. You see, the body follows what scientists call the circadian rhythm, your natural sleep-wake cycle. And Fajr time falls right when your body is preparing to fully wake up, not to shut down again. So when you go back to sleep after Fajr, especially for just an hour or two, you usually don't fall into deep quality sleep. Instead, you dip into a light, fragmented rest that leaves you groggy, heavy-headed, and sometimes even irritated. That's why so many people say, I woke up after Fajr nap and I felt worse than before. On a deeper level, this impacts your mood. You might feel more sluggish, less motivated, and even spiritually disconnected because your mind hasn't been given the clarity it needs to start the day strong. Compare that with staying awake after Fajr. Your mind feels sharper, your heart feels lighter, and you carry a sense of calm energy that lasts throughout the day. This is why scholars often describe post-Fajr wakefulness as a way to sharpen the mind and purify the soul. It's not just about sleep. It's about entering your day with a clean, focused state of mind. And family, if you've ever felt that morning fog after sleeping post-Fajr, let me know in the comments. You'll see you're not alone. 9. Connection to rizq, provision and sustenance. Here's a powerful hidden secret that many people overlook. Sleeping after Fajr can actually affect your rizq, your provision. The early morning hours are described in Islam as a time when sustenance is distributed and blessings are poured down. That's why the Prophet, may Allah's peace and blessings be upon him, made dua. O Allah, bless my nation in their early mornings. Think about it. The world comes alive after Fajr. Businesses open, opportunities unfold, people begin their daily hustle. If you're asleep during that sacred window, you might miss out on the barakah Allah has placed in it. Scholars even say that oversleeping after Fajr can reduce productivity and close doors to certain blessings, whether financial, spiritual, or even personal growth. On the other hand, when you stay awake, you align yourself with the flow of rizq. You start your day with remembrance of Allah, maybe some Quran, maybe planning your work or family tasks. And that sets you up to receive Allah's blessings in a way that someone who goes back to sleep simply doesn't. So the secret here is, your rizq isn't just about hard work. It's also tied to the times you're awake and connected to Allah. Fajr is one of those golden times. 10. Your relationship with Allah. This is the deepest secret of them all. Sleeping after Fajr doesn't just affect your body, your mood, or your rizq. It can actually influence the quality of your relationship with Allah. Here's why. Fajr itself is one of the most beloved prayers to Allah. Angels witness it, and it marks the start of your day. If after offering such a powerful act of worship, you immediately shut your eyes and go back to sleep, you might unintentionally lose the chance to strengthen that connection with Allah through dhikr, Quran, or dua. But when you stay awake after Fajr, even if it's just for a short while, you're showing Allah that you value this special time. You're saying, Ya Allah, I want to remember you when the world is quiet, when the sun is rising, when blessings are descending. That choice deepens your bond with Him, and over time it builds a habit of starting every day centered on faith. And here's the beauty. The more you do this, the more you feel your iman grow. You'll notice your heart feels calmer, your days feel lighter, and your trust in Allah becomes stronger. It's not just about avoiding sleep. It's about using those precious minutes to unlock closeness to the One who created you. So, the hidden secret of sleeping after Fajr is that while it might seem harmless, it can slowly distance you from barakah and from Allah's special nearness. But the opposite, staying awake, remembering Him, can fill your life with light, blessings, and guidance. My dear brothers and sisters, we've uncovered some powerful truths today. At first glance, sleeping after Fajr might feel like just a harmless nap, but as we've seen, it carries hidden secrets that can shape your physical health, your mental clarity, your rizq, and even your spiritual journey. From the scientific side, it disrupts your natural body rhythm and leaves you feeling sluggish. From the Islamic side, it causes you to miss out on the most blessed hours of the day, a time the Prophet, may Allah's peace and blessings be upon him, prayed would be full of barakah for us. Staying awake after Fajr means more time for dhikr, Quran, reflection, and even planning your day with clarity and purpose. It sharpens your mind, elevates your mood, attracts sustenance, and most importantly, strengthens your relationship with Allah. So the big takeaway is this: sleeping after Fajr isn't just about losing rest. It's about losing opportunities for dunya and for akhirah. And on the flip side, staying awake after Fajr is like unlocking a door of blessings that most people don't even realize exists. Imagine starting every single day not with heaviness and regret, but with light, clarity, and a sense of spiritual fulfillment. That's the true secret behind this habit, and the choice is in your hands. So, my beloved family in faith, I encourage you. Try it for yourself. Stay awake after Fajr, even just for a few days, and watch how your heart, your mind, and even your life begin to transform. And before we close, don't forget to subscribe to the Inspired Muslim. This way, you'll always be connected to reminders that help you grow closer to Allah and unlock the wisdom hidden in everyday actions. May Allah bless your mornings, your rizq, and your iman.